Hey guys, I'm here with something different today, and I'm bringing you guys my 2014 NBA playoffs prediction. And this will be going out on Sunday probably because I won't have time to for it to come out on Saturday, and I'm making this on Friday. So let's get into this. We're gonna start with the Western Conference quarterfinals. We have the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Dallas Mavericks, and the San Antonio Spurs are really hot right now. They're on a massive winning streak, and it's really hard to stop them. And I'm liking the Spurs in a really either 4 games or 5 games. I really think the Spurs will win and force, maybe even sweep the Mavericks. The Mavericks are a good team. Monta Ellis and Dirk Nowitzki they're playing very well at the end of the season, but I just think the veterans of Tony Parker, Ginobili, Tim Duncan, and up-and-coming Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard will bring the Spurs to the Western Conference semifinals. And then we're going to move on to the next game with the Houston Rockets against the Portland Trailblazers. And it's kind of like my first upset. It's not really an upset because it's a 5-4 team, but I do have the Trailblazers moving on to play the Spurs in the Western Conference semifinals. And I'll tell you that because I don't think James Harden is a very good player. Don't get me wrong, he will probably make All-NBA first team or second team. But with Dwight Howard down there, I don't think, because Dwight Howard hasn't been in the playoffs. Well, he did make it with the Lakers, I believe, last year. I think. I could be wrong. Probably wrong. But he hasn't been there and made a run since he was very good with the Magic a couple years back. And I think the Trailblazers are very good right now. LaMarcus Aldridge is playing good. Nicholas Batum's playing very well. Damian Lillard's playing well like he usually does. And they have people like Wesley Matthews, Will Barton. They're playing very well as role players too, so I believe the Trailblazers will knock off the Rockets, and I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to 7 or 6 games, my bad, or maybe 5. So yeah, I do have the Spurs and Trailblazers in the Western Conference semifinals, and then we're gonna move down one, and I have the Clippers and the Warriors, and this was very tough. This can go either way, but I do have the Clippers winning. I really think their starting 5 will make them win, and also their bench. I believe Jamal Crawford is gonna win 6th Man of the Year, and he's proven that this year. And the Warriors are a very good team. Stephon Curry, Klay Thompson, and don't get me wrong, they're probably one of the better teams in the playoffs. But I just think the Clippers, with Chris Paul being the point guard he is, I believe he's a better point guard than Stephon Curry, but Stephon Curry can shoot the ball better. And Blake Griffin is almost like he's in the MVP voting. He's not going to win, but he's like in like 5th place. But yeah, they have DeAndre Jordan down there. And I do believe they'll go past the Warriors, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is 7 games, 6 games, I think at least. And like I said, this is going up on Sunday, so I could be wrong so far in these games, or I could be right, I don't know. And then we're going to go into the Thunder and the Grizzlies. I do think the Grizzlies will test the Thunder, but I think the Thunder are just going to go past the Grizzlies. I believe the Thunder, this is their year. I think Kevin Durant is tired of losing, and this will be the year that they make it far. So we're going to move on to the Eastern Conference quarterfinals now. We have the Pacers and the Bulls. And no, the Pacers and the Hawks, my bad. And I believe the Hawks could test the Pacers because the Pacers are on a losing streak. Well, not a losing streak, but they have been slumping later towards the end of the season. And the Hawks are going to be without Al Horford, I believe, for this series. So that's why I believe the Pacers will overcome the Hawks, even though I think the Hawks may test them. And then we have the Bulls and the Wizards, and I'm really liking the Wizards this year. I was really surprised how good they did. I just started really badly right there. I believe they did very good this year. I didn't really expect them to do good at all. And I believe the Bulls will pass the Wizards, though. I believe Joakim Noah has really run this team with Derrick Rose out, and I think they will go past the Wizards. So then we have the Raptors and the Nets, and I kind of don't like both these teams because I'm a Knicks fan, and they're not in the playoffs. Very disappointing season out of them. But the Raptors and Nets, the Raptors have been talking like they're going to win the NBA Finals this year, and like this is their year, and I don't think so. I think the Nets with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Darren Williams plays, even Andre Karolinko will even help them. I just think the veterans of Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, their playoff experience will make them go past the Raptors and the Heat and the Bobcats. The Bobcats have a surprising year this year. I believe it was last year or 2 years ago, they did win like 7 games, and they had the worst winning percentage in NBA history, I think. But I do think, even though Al Jefferson is having a hell of a year, and Kemba Walker is really having a very good comeback year, even though he's been good, but he's been very, very good this year. But I do think the Heat will go past the Bobcats. LeBron James will go past the Bobcats defense, and Dwayne Wade will even help. But now we're going to go on to the Western Conference semifinals. We have the Spurs and the Trailblazers, and that'll be a really fun matchup to see. Damian Lillard, the young guy, going up against the veteran of Tony Parker. But I believe the Spurs experience, once again, will go past the Trailblazers. I believe this is the first time in 5 years the Trailblazers have made the playoffs, I think. And yeah, I just think the experience will move the Spurs past the Trailblazers to make it to the Western Conference Finals. And then we have the Clippers and the Thunder, and this matchup will be great. You have Kevin Durant, who probably will win MVP this year, and a fifth place guy, Blake Griffin. You have two great point guards, Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul. And you have great defenses and great offenses going up against each other. But like I said, I believe this is the Thunder's year. I believe Kevin Durant is tired of losing, and I believe the team is tired of not making it. And I do think they'll go past the Clippers. So now to the Eastern Conference semifinals. I have the Pacers and the Bulls, and I do have an upset here. I do have the Bulls knocking off the Pacers because I think the Pacers will just barely make it against the Hawks, and I think the Bulls will go past the Pacers. I think their defense will really step up. I think Joakim Noah will be that difference maker, but then I do pick the Bulls beating the Pacers. And then we're going to move on to the Nets and the Heat. I do think the Heat will overcome the Nets. I believe LeBron James will guard Paul Pierce very well. And then if they put Chris Bosh on KG, and then they have Dwayne Wade, who will also be a difference maker. And then they have Shane Battier, who's always good in the playoffs. And they also have Mario Chalmers, who's been there a couple times with LeBron. And I believe the Heat will make it past the Nets. And I forgot to mention before with the Warriors and the Clippers, the Warriors are without their big man, Andrew Bogut. That's why I believe also the Clippers will make it past them in the first round. So now we're going to move on to the Western Conference Finals, yes. And the Spurs and the Thunder, a rematch from last year, I believe. And I believe the Spurs were up 3-2 last year, but then they lost 2 in a row, and the Thunder did make it. And yeah, so I think the Thunder will pass the Spurs. I think that the Thunder will just drive past the Grizzlies, past the Clippers, and then past the Spurs. I think Kevin Durant, you put Kawhi Leonard on him, I still think Kevin Durant can score 40 a night, and I think Russell Westbrook can outplay Tony Parker in this situation. And then, so yeah, I have the Thunder in the finals, and it will be another rematch against the Heat because I also have the Heat beating the Bulls. I believe LeBron James can outplay Joakim Noah, even if he doesn't even guard him. I think Chris Bosh can guard Joakim Noah very well, and I believe they will make it past them and win it. And the Heat will win the Eastern Conference and go on to the finals. And the Thunder and the Heat in the finals, once again, we'll see this, but I think we will see a different outcome this time. I believe that the Thunder will overcome the Heat, and the Thunder will be your 2014 NBA champions, because I think this is KD's year. He's going to win MVP, and I think his next step is going to win that championship ring. So that's what my playoff predictions are. They're probably not even going to be close. It's just my opinion. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. You could just tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me who you guys think will go far, who will get knocked out first. And that'll be it for the video. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.